Show. Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Alert, your go-to source for the latest updates on Iraq's economy. Today, we're rediving deep into a topic that has everyone talking: the year 2025 and what it could mean for the Iraqi dinar, with Iraq making major strides in financial reform, banking, and political stability. Many investors and analysts are watching closely, hoping for a significant shift in the dinar's value. But what are the experts really predicting, and how realistic are these expectations? Let's break down everything you need to know about Iraq's economic landscape, the latest policy updates, and whether a revaluation or reinstatement could actually happen in 2025. So, why all the buzz around 2025? It's not just a random year. For years, Iraq has been diligently rebuilding its economy, but 2025 marks a crucial convergence of several key initiatives. First, the three-year federal budget, which started in 2023, is now fully active, providing a stable financial roadmap. Second, the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, has launched massive reforms aimed at modernizing the entire financial system. We've also seen stricter regulations on the US dollar and a significant expansion of digital banking and anti-corruption programs. All these steps signal that Iraq is serious about achieving long-term financial stability, which naturally fuels conversations about a future revaluation. Before we go any further, let's quickly clarify what a revaluation, or RV, actually is. In simple terms, a currency revaluation is when a government officially increases the value of its currency against another, like the US dollar. For example, if today $1 equals 1,310 Iraqi dinars, a revaluation might change that to, say, $1 equals 800 dinars. This would mean the dinar has become stronger. This is different from a reinstatement or which many hope would return the dinar to its value from before the 2003 war. Both possibilities have been the subject of intense speculation for years. So where does the dinar stand right now? In early 2025, the official exchange rate has been holding steady at around 1,310 dinars to the US dollar. However, there's also a parallel, or black market, where the rate is often slightly higher. This gap exists mainly because of restrictions on accessing US dollars. But here's the important part. Iraq's financial reforms are designed to slowly close this gap. Creating a single, stable exchange rate is a critical prerequisite before any major change to the currency's value can even be considered. The progress here is a positive sign that things are moving in the right direction. Experts from around the world are watching Iraq's reforms with great interest. While most agree that the country is laying the essential groundwork for a more stable and valuable currency, they have different opinions on the timing and the magnitude of any potential appreciation. The key reforms that analysts are highlighting include Iraq's growing foreign reserves, its efforts to reduce dependency on the US dollar, and the rapid expansion of its digital banking framework, also pointing to the central bank's stronger oversight and the government's aggressive anti-corruption and anti-smuggling operations. These aren't just minor tweaks, they are fundamental changes. A country simply cannot support a stronger currency without a robust banking system, high reserves, stable economic policies, controlled inflation, and trusted financial institutions. The good news is, Iraq is showing significant improvement across all these areas. Now, let's look at what economists are saying about a potential revaluation in 2025. There are generally three main viewpoints. The first, and most common among mainstream economists, is the idea of a gradual appreciation, not a sudden dramatic jump. They believe Iraq will likely strengthen the dinar slowly and steadily over a period of time. This approach avoids economic shocks and aligns with the kind of stable, market-based adjustments preferred by international bodies like the IMF, for example. We might see the rate move from 1310 to 1200 and then to 1100 over several years, not overnight. The second viewpoint is a bit more cautious. Some experts argue that no significant revaluation can happen until Iraq fully resolves its issues with the US dollar. The widespread use of the dollar within Iraq's local economy, combined with the persistent problem of dollar smuggling to neighboring countries, creates instability. Until these issues are under control and Iraq gains more monetary sovereignty, These experts believe a major rate change is unlikely. The restrictions imposed by the US Treasury are a key part of this equation, and Iraq is working hard to comply with international standards to resolve this. Then there's a third, more optimistic group of analysts. They believe a revaluation is indeed possible, but only once the current wave of reforms has been fully implemented and has had time to stabilize the economy. They don't guarantee it will happen in 2025, but they see the current period as the final phase of preparation. 2. Once the banking reforms are complete, digital systems can track all transactions. Corruption is significantly reduced, and oil revenues are stable. The conditions would be ripe for a revaluation. They see 2025 as the year the foundation is solidified, making a future rate change a real possibility. So, what has the Central Bank of Iraq itself said? Officially, the CBI has not announced any plan for a revaluation. However, their actions speak louder than words. The central bank has been aggressively strengthening Iraq's financial position. Foreign currency reserves have soared, crossing the $100 billion mark. And gold reserves have also increased significantly. The CBI is also cracking down on non-compliant private banks and has expanded digital payment systems across the country. All of these moves are designed to strengthen the dinar's position, creating a solid foundation for its value, even without an immediate RV. Let's talk more about those foreign reserves. Why are they so important? A country's foreign currency reserves act as a financial cushion. They are crucial for supporting the value of a nation's currency. Iraq's reserves come mainly from its vast oil sales, but also from international trade and its holdings of gold. Having high reserves means the central bank has the power to defend the dinar from speculative attacks and support a stronger exchange rate if it chooses to. In 2025, Iraq's reserves are among the highest in the entire Middle East, which is an incredibly strong signal for the future stability and potential strength of the dinar. Of course, we can't talk about Iraq's economy without talking about oil. It remains the lifeblood of the nation, accounting for over 85% of its income. Any discussion about the dinar's future is directly tied to the health of its oil sector. And here, too, the news is positive. Iraq has been increasing its production capacity, signing new contracts with international energy companies, and repairing crucial pipeline infrastructure. These efforts, combined with new agreements with markets in Asia and the Gulf, mean higher and more stable oil revenues. This directly translates to more foreign reserves, further strengthening the dinar's foundation. One of the most exciting, yet often overlooked developments is the silent revolution happening in Iraq's banking sector, the shift from a cash-based society to a digital one. This is a game changer. The reforms include rolling out e-payments for government salaries, modernizing private banks, installing more ATMs and point-of-sale machines, and implementing sophisticated anti-corruption tracking systems. So, why does this matter for a revaluation? A clean, transparent, and trackable financial system is absolutely essential for a successful RV. By moving away from untraceable cash, Iraq is building the modern financial infrastructure needed to support a stronger, more stable currency. This digital transformation is happening fast and is perhaps one of the most critical pieces of the puzzle. So, let us get to the big question. Will there be a revaluation of the Iraqi dinar in 2025? While no expert can give you a guaranteed yes or no, we can look at the evidence to form a realistic picture. What is highly likely to happen is that Iraq will have a much stronger and more stable financial system by the end of the year. We can expect to see lower dependence on the dollar, a more stable dinar, and a smaller gap between the official and black market rates. What is possible, but not promised, is a gradual appreciation of the dinar, or even a moderate revaluation once the current reforms fully mature. What is extremely unlikely is a sudden massive revaluation that takes the dinar back to a rate of 1-to-1 with the dollar overnight. The economic fundamentals simply do not support such a drastic and sudden shift. So, what is the most realistic prediction from financial experts? Most agree that Iraq is playing the long game. The government is focused on building long-term currency strength, not chasing a short-term speculative spike. The reforms we're seeing in 2024 and 2025 are about creating a healthy, sustainable financial system. This will naturally lead to a stronger dinar over time, but it requires patience and consistent progress. In conclusion, as 2025 unfolds, it's clear that Iraq is on a firm path toward a more stable and prosperous economic future. While the intense speculation about a massive overnight revaluation continues to capture headlines, serious experts are focused on the real, tangible indicators of progress: a stronger banking sector, soaring foreign reserves, reduced corruption, and the rapid adoption of digital finance. These reforms are the essential building blocks for any future appreciation of the dinar. The truth is that a revaluation is possible someday, but only after Iraq completes and stabilizes its ambitious reform agenda. Of 2025, not as the finish line, but as a critical turning point on the road to economic recovery. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update. See you in the next video.